basics and can dive into wherever their problems are with their sponsors after that, right? So I know when I first got in, it sounded like y'all were talking Greek. Like I just kind of sat here like this, like, okay, I have no idea what they're talking about. And so just me being stubborn, hard-headed, whatever it is, or having a really good mentor with Chris, who lived on, the business page and learned it all, or, was writing it down, took good notes. I mean, he was right out of the gate. Chris was way more devoted to this to me. So he figured it out and kind of held my hand through it all. So that's pretty much what got me through it all. But I can understand how somebody could jump on this Zoom and we start just spitfiring everything that's going on. And it's just like, whoosh, it's a sensory overload, just, drinking from a fire hydrant, and they can't keep up. Right. So we want to try to dial that in so that we know what to expect every month. This is a trial run, right? I seriously haven't even practiced this speech or this training tonight. I'm 100% winging it. I may bomb 100%. And next time we go over this topic, Mama BB may be like, hey, Chris is going to be in charge. You know what I mean? So, but we'll see. So what I want to go over for this, the first week of the month, or what we're going to try to do from here on out. So we may repeat this in just a couple weeks. I want to go over some of just the key terms that we just randomly throw out like it's no big deal, because we understand, right? We've been in it for whether it's a week, a year, a month, whatever. For me, I was in it for a year before I even ran the business side of it. So I still had a pretty good understanding. But you have some people who come to this specifically for the business. And when they start hearing about BV and cycles and weak side, strong side, peg legs, they're just like, like they're lost. They have no idea. They might as well turn on, watching the news in Spanish, whatever. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So I want to go over the team structure, kind of how that works, the pay structure just a little bit. These are just broad topics, wave tops. A lot of this stuff, when we get to the really technical part of it, I'm just going to throw it to get in touch with your sponsor, right? If you want to know more information, get in touch with your sponsor. Or obviously, if your sponsor is not the one who's building with you, get to the person who's right above you, who's helping you out, your mentor on your team, right? Somebody will be able to help you out, because when I start throwing up these forms and saying, hey, this is important, I'm not going to, I love y'all to death, but I don't want 500 people trying to email me saying, hey, where's that form? Like, hey, the team leaders can all do that. That's what we're here for. Divvy it out to whoever invited you to the Zoom or whatever, right? So a little chain of command there. So first and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and call some people out. Now, the only people I can see right now is Mama BB. I can see Emily, and I can see Luann Owens, but I'm going to swipe a couple times. Matter of fact, I'm going to call Chris out right now. Chris, unmute yourself and just give me one example of a term that when you first heard it, you had no idea what was going on. It just made no sense.
I don't know. I studied this so hard that I kind of got everything. BV, because in another business it was PV, so that kind of confused me.
Perfect.
Peg legs.
Okay, perfect. Those are two that I've already got down. So let's see. I'm going to call on somebody else. Gina, where are you at? Are you on here?
I am. Hi.
There you go. What about you?
So BV was definitely something that I didn't know what that was. Sure. And then I didn't know what the weak leg was.
Nice. Okay, perfect. So those are some examples right there. Great. That's all I wanted, guys. I'm not going to try to throw you on the spot and make you explain it or anything, but just to give you even longer. And, there is no telling how long they went before. Even some people today, me and Chris are finding out, who have been in here way before us, that are in our upline, another term we're going to go over, who have no idea like what's going on. They're missing some components. They know they're getting paid and they know they're on a team, but they don't know where they are on the team or why they're getting paid a certain way and whatnot. And so they don't understand it fully, even though it's probably been said right in front of them, but they had no idea what that was being talked about. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to go over. So first and foremost, all right, everybody on here, I'm assuming they're using the products for themselves, right? You're on the system, right? That's why you're here. And that probably means, good chances are, you are an active member. Now, what does active mean? Active means that within the past 30 days, you have purchased 100 BV for yourself, right? Well, gosh, I can't even give you that definition without running into another problem. What the heck is BV? Right? See what I'm saying? This just rolls one into another. So BV, as everybody knows, is business volume. Every single product or package you buy has a BV attached to it. So every time you make an order, not only is there the price, but right under it will be BV as well, right? And so to remain active, which is what you want, if you want to get paid, you have to have 100 BV for yourself every month. So when you start talking to people about this stuff, you have to explain that kind of thing to them, because a lot of times when I get the email saying, hey, somebody's in the grace period, or, you know, or even if you know what a big eye opener is? Even people who say they're not interested in the business, if you take a screenshot of their back of your page and show them how much BV they have just accumulated already, they're even though they don't understand, they're like, whoa, I've got 10,000 BV. I don't know what that is, but I don't want to lose it, right? And so that's one of those things to kind of tell people, hey, look, like, you haven't done a thing, right? And you've collected this business volume that could potentially lead to you getting paid, just in case you're ever wondering. However, you need to remain active so you don't lose those points. Okay, so that's a talk you have to have with people and let them understand. And again, you may have to have that talk with them a couple times because it may not make a lot of sense. So becoming inactive, obviously you haven't made that 100 BV purchase like we were talking about every month, and you could possibly lose those points. Now, Mama BB is going to be correcting me on this stuff if I misspeak, but I think it's 5 days after. I think you have a 5-day grace period before all that happens. So when you have somebody who's in that grace period, let them know, like, hey, you got a couple days and it's gone. Like, I have somebody right now who has like 70,000 BV. He, you know, has no clue, not really worried about it. I've sent him the screenshot. He hasn't really like taken off with the business or tried too much, but guess what? He has definitely made a purchase every time I told him, because he doesn't want to lose those, to him, magical points that he has no idea what they do, right? Because he hasn't asked. We haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet. Okay. So that BV, what exactly does that BV do? Well, that BV, that business volume, is what gives you your cycles. There we go, another term, right? Now, what are cycles? Cycles are going to be pretty much your residual income. What happens even when you don't even really have to put too much work into cycles, right? It's something that happens automatic. Those points that you collect are automatically turned in for cash, right? And we're going to go over how those cycles work when I start talking about the team structure. Okay, I've got a little dry erase board behind me. I'm going to try to do it old school for you, but then we've got a sheet that you can also get your hands on through your team members, your upline, talk to your sponsor, whoever it is. You can go on the website and get it as well. Don't worry. All right. So I know I'm a fast talker, and I know this is going to be a lot of information, but we can get all this information out to you afterwards. Just get with the proper team member. All right. So those cycles are what's going to be really what is just going to, for me, amaze me, because I wake up on Monday and already have money that really, even if I'm on vacation and didn't do anything, like, I just got paid and didn't work this week, right? That's the beauty of the compensation plan, is that you're getting paid even though technically, man, I had a bad week, right? I didn't sign anybody up. Nobody enrolled with me. Wait a minute, I just got 4 cycles last week just from people ordering, right? That BV is collected from everyone underneath you, your whole team. You collect that BV, and it turns into cycles. Now, the other side of that, not the opposite, but you have the residual income with cycles, but you also have something that, this is the one that I know I asked Chris this 3 or 4 different times when he started about double PIBs. Huh? Double PIBs? What's a single PIB? What do you mean double PIBs? Right? And so PIBs, pretty much, we're just going to call that your commission, right? That is your product introductory bonus. When you get someone to enroll with the Ultimate Pack, Value Pack, Premium Pack, Basic Pack, even though we usually don't talk about that one, right? You get a commission just for them enrolling. A one-time, here you go, thanks for introducing them to the company. And then after that, or including that, right, that order also has BV attached to it, just like every other order. But after that, that person, every time they order, you get their BV, period. Whether it's now, this particular order you sign them up with, and every order after that, right? You will get that BV as long as you're active, okay? So the beauty of this is one of the first conversations you need to have with someone who may be interested in the business side of this is letting them know how easy it is to make money. Because the only requirement is that you remain active. That's it. You're not touching anybody else's money. You're not holding inventory in your trunk and trying to peddle it on the corner or something weird. You know what I mean? You're not, there's no minimum requirements as far as you have to get, a certain amount of people in this day. And like, there's none of that, right? What's another big one that some of the other companies may have? I'll say there's no fees, because typically we're signing people up with these bigger packs that waive that fee. Now, here recently they've changed it up. That annual membership has now become the $29.99 that you pay when you want to become an associate so that you can start making money. But typically, and a lot of times, for most people, that is waived when you have the premium pack or above, right? So you may have those stubborn people who are like, hey, I want to enroll and just get a shake or whatever, if for whatever reason they just do it, or maybe they go on your site, and just do it without you, which I've had happen a couple times. Then yes, they may have to pay that $29. Not a big deal, right? But a one-time fee to start the business isn't that big a deal, right? There's no big, like, just outrageous fees for you to start a business, pretty much, right? When we're talking about starting a business, on the other hand, anywhere else, I mean, you got to buy some kind of product, you have to have some kind of marketing, you have to have some kind of distribution, and all that's taken care of. And that's the beauty of network marketing, especially Osteogenics. They made it so easy, right? We've got everything handed to us. So the only requirement is that you are active. And so when you have that one person who has an aha moment, and whether it's the first cleanse, when they see their 30-day pics, whether it's 2 months in, for me, it took a year, whatever, when they finally say, oh my gosh, I love this product, just like everybody else on this call, and they know they're going to use it, that is a really good segue to talk about, well, hey, if you're going to use it, you have already opened the door without even knowing to get paid, because you've already completed the one requirement. You're using it. You're active, right? You're buying stuff for yourself. That's it. So if you want to make money, I don't care if you want to get paid once a year, once a month, once a week, you can now tap into the compensation plan. Completely up to you, right? But we're going to have that conversation when we know they happen. All right. So now I want to try to talk into what really confused me, and this is, and I'm guilty of it, 100%. Jeff and Debbie and Chris, the first couple times I was on, and they're just talking about, 2-star, golden circle, platinum, upside down, reverse, to the left, whatever they got going on. I had no idea. I do the exact same thing now. I tell people all the time, they're like, wait a minute, I just got an email saying that, whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Your weak side's about to cycle. And I just spit it out. Don't even know anymore. All right. So that's what we're going to try to go over just real quick, just to help anyone who doesn't know on here, or for those of you who are, maybe give you just a reminder of what to touch base with on people who are not familiar with the compensation plan. There are plenty of videos, obviously, on the pages for you to tag them on, but I'm just going to go quickly over how I try to explain it to people. And yes, I do get a pen and paper out, or dry erase board if they're nearby. And this is exactly what I try to lay out for them. Okay. Now, fancy dry erase board right behind me. Pretty much when you start and you're in Isogenics, that's you. Oh man, can you not see? Dang. You know what? Maybe my lights are giving a glare. Hold on. We'll try something else real quick. Hello. That help a little bit? Maybe not. All right, I'll try to go to a different color. Doesn't matter. So we've got you right here in the middle, right? I'll just darken it up. There you go. We can see that. All right. Now, when you're trying to explain to people about the compensation plan, you start mentioning a left side and a right side, that's confusing. All right. And I know I'm backwards on here, right? Because of the camera, but bear with me. Right. So when you try to explain them that they have a left side and a right side, right? And you want them to find their two people, right? That's our goal. You have to try to explain to them that a cycle is just their points being turned in based on that BV, right? So every order has a BV. I don't care what it is. It could be 100, could be 300, whatever they spend, doesn't matter. But your goal is on either side, whether it's left or right. So I know I'm backwards, right? For one side to get 300, okay? And the other side to get 600. Doesn't matter which, don't care, right? You can switch them up. Now, here's where it gets confusing. I understood that, but here's where it gets confusing for me. I signed up my first two people, which for me were my parents. But Chris sent me a screenshot, and I had like 10,000 points. I didn't order 10,000 points worth of stuff. How in the world? Well, let me see if this color will show up. This is where, when we start talking about your left side, or I guess for y'all looking right side, your left side and right side is obviously just whatever side of the team you're building. You share a side with someone. Actually, you share a side with a lot of people. And for me, I shared my left side with Chris because in his leg, he was up here, right? So me and him shared this same leg. Now, here's where I got my 10,000 points, and it blew my mind. I had no idea. Because I signed up, let's just say I signed up, January 1st. Easy, right? I signed up on January 1st. 1-1. Everybody that Chris put on his left side after that date, I got credit for. How cool is that? I had no clue. So Chris had all sorts of people in here before I even signed anybody up. And all those people, I was just making bank. Had no clue. Right? And then above Chris was Jeff and Debbie. And you already know they were doing some good work. Right? So again, ever since January 1st, when I signed up, I was getting points. So when you start looking into people who have gone their 30 days, or maybe they've reached their first cleanse even, and they see that light and they're like, holy crap, this is awesome. When you turn around and show them, guess what? It's been 30 days. You have literally just focused on yourself and you have 10,000 points waiting on you. That's going to grab their attention. What does that even mean? Well, now you've got to explain this to them. Now, obviously, when we go up here, I'm on Chris. We share this side. That's one of those terms that when people hear, I don't understand that. Well, that right there is sharing it. Now, me and Chris do not share our right side. Chris gets credit for everything I do on my right side. But when you come up here and Chris is start signing up, whoever else, his mom, his wife, whatever, that's above me. That's my upline, right? So up the tree is my upline. So I've got Chris, I've got Jeff and Debbie. They're all my upline. Justin, who I've enrolled, he's my downline, right? Because he is someone under me personally enrolled. And then all these people that Chris enrolled are technically in my downline as well, right? Because they came in after me, all right? So this placement can get kind of confusing. And so I just want people to know that when this starts happening, when you start saying left side, right side, left team, right team, what's another word for it? Left side, right leg. Some people may say leg, right leg, left leg, whatever. That's all it is, okay? And then center, which when we start talking about really making the big money, right? You might hear somebody say, hey, your ultimate goal is to max out your center. Guys, literally that's just the culmination of both your sides, right? That's you right here. Your center is going to be you and everything you've got on each side. So when you max out that center, perfect world scenario is your 250 cycles a week, right? Which now we're talking crazy money, right? And I'm fainting over here because I can't even understand that kind of money. But that's when you're maxing out your center. Chris's center is obviously up here, right? And it just keeps going up. So just some terms there that may make people kind of like get lost, maybe not understand. So, I guess let's go over, weak side. That was one of the ones mentioned. So just like I said, I had 10,000 points on this left side because me and Chris shared that side. He was doing all sorts of work before I even, thought about running the business. Well, I had just my mom over here on my right. Right? Chris has been doing all sorts of stuff over here, but Chris has no control over my right side. So I had 10,000 points over here and like 200 points right there, just from my mom, right? That's my weak side because it doesn't have near as many points, right? My 10,000 points, my 200 points. Your weak side is going to be the one that you need to cycle next, right? So when you order, right, which is another term I guess we can go to, your personal holding volume, when you personally buy something, your BV that you just purchased goes to your weak side, whatever side's the closest to cycling, okay? So I don't remember how much exactly, Mama BB, I may ask you to jump in on this, but with all this accumulation happening, again, because I was just staying active, right? And these points don't turn in until you promote to consultant, right? Which is something that we haven't talked about, not yet. We'll go over that in just a second because that's going to be the chart that we're going to end with. But the consultant is what unlocks these points. So technically, I could accumulate all these points as an associate. And then when I become a consultant, just like that, those points I've accumulated can turn in for money. And Jennifer had somebody who made, crazy money. Mama BB, I think that's what I wanted you to jump in just because I don't want to throw out some kind of fake number or how long it took or anything like that. Just how much did you?
$8,000 because she had stayed active the whole time. And of course, the team's enrolling, opening up accounts for people, right? Enrolling, and it just kept accumulating. But she stayed active as an associate,
which is hard to do.
Preferred customer and associate are two other things you could address. The difference in that.
Absolutely.
And now we want to turn everybody associate right away. so all that volume stores like a savings account.
Exactly.
And as she did, and then she enrolled her 2 people, she made over like $8,000.
Right. So when we start going over the consultant and other promotions, pretty much, pretty fascinating thing happened, which it's funny because I'm pretty sure that was an accident, right? She didn't mean to just keep all that money to the side. If she would have known she had half that, say, she would have been like, oh, let me collect this $4,000. You know what I mean? That was a complete accident. However, some people on this Zoom right now are taking advantage of that exact situation and setting other family members in their tree up to really set them up for success later down the line. And super smart dude doing that, by the way. I'll let him talk on that one other day. But what happens is Chris was making all these points for me. What if I never signed my dad up, right? I never got my dad over here. I got my mom enrolled. Let's just pretend I took off on I didn't know any better, so I signed everybody up on my right? I signed up everybody on my right just because I didn't know any better. Nobody ever trained me, right? I had no clue. And my right side got thousands and thousands and thousands of points. My left side, Chris, shares with me, and he's killing it. He's giving me thousands and thousands and thousands of points. But I never became a consultant because that requires I have somebody that I personally enroll on my left and right. But I never signed anybody up personally on my left. Chris was doing all that. So just like we talked about, when I would finally sign somebody up on my left, if I had all those points, boom, tons of money turned in, right? So I just want to touch base on the compensation plan as far as that goes. Now, there's tons of bonuses. There's pools. We can really dive into that and spend weeks on weeks talking about that because it's a really fascinating plan that I promise you everybody on this team is still learning about, right? Because they keep adding to it, right? They just added the $750 bonus for executives. There is so much money to be – seriously, I get paid sometimes and don't even know why, right? It's amazing. They're so generous, okay? But that is the general – just the basics of the wave tops of the compensation plan. Because when you get your first 2 people in, like we talked about, right? You're one person on your left and right. Guys, you're just repeating that. That's it. That's the rest of you are just having people with you do the same exact thing. And that's the entire business plan. So just like Mama Bibi mentioned, we sign everybody up as a preferred customer, right? And you see that on your page when you're enrolling somebody. The preferred customer has the auto ship, right? Gives them the discounts. It gives them obviously the 25% for being a member, all that good stuff. And then as soon as you enroll them, we really want you to change them to associate as soon as possible because there is, if you're just a preferred customer, there eventually is a cap on you accumulating those points. And we don't want those points to go to waste, right? So if you just, like I said, right, most people get a pack, so it's no extra fee. Just, hey, let's go ahead and change you associate. So that you can do exactly what we just explained. You can accumulate and accumulate and accumulate forever. For as long as you're active, you can accumulate. And that's what we want to happen. We don't want anybody to miss out on money, okay? So associate, that is just a click of the button, okay? I'm not going to say there's no work to be done because you do have to go in there and click some buttons, enter some information or whatever. But anybody can, day one, and that's what we want you to do, become an associate. Now, to get the rest of the ranks, there are some requirements, and that's what we're going to go over just real quick. And I'm going to refer back to just my little nasty dry erase board here. So you've got your 2 people you enroll, right? You are now a consultant. That easy. You just found 2 people, one person on your left, one person on your right. Congratulations, you're a consultant. And so from there, all you're going to do is have them repeat that process. That's it. That is the entire business plan, guys. If you want to advance and pick up all these stars and all these, executive director, manager, all the ranks, you are just having people repeat that process. So you will take, for me, it was mom and dad, right? Those are my first 2. And I just had them find 2 of their friends, right? And they just repeated the process. They did the same exact thing, right? Now, this sheet right here is mapped to Crystal Executive. I know it's backwards, all right? And I know I can share my screen, but I'd rather look at your faces and have you look at mine. So this, again, is something that you can find on the business page. Your other team members can give you this, right? We'll give it out to you if you can't find it, if you don't have it. But this literally lays it out exactly what you need to do because I just showed you how to become a manager, right? That is 2 people under you who also became consultants. Now, of course, when you start thinking about that, I made that look easy, right? But the real work is you signed up 2 or 3 people in between who didn't do anything, right? They were like, no, I don't want to do the business, or they just have no desire, or they fell off, whatever. So you may have several people in between, but you finally got that one person on the left, one person on the right who became a consultant with you. Well, guess what? Because they became a consultant, you just left them in the dust. Now you're a manager. And you're going to repeat that process. Okay? And so to become a manager, you just need those 2. To become a director, you need 6. Okay? Now, manager, you have to have 1 on each side, if I remember correctly. Right, Mama? To become a manager, you need 1 consultant on each side. The sides do matter on that one. Okay? You have to have 1 on your left, 1 on your right. For a director, when you need 6, it can be anywhere. I don't care. 1 on your left, 5 on your right. Right? It can be anywhere. Okay? However, where the real work is and where the balance is, because we want you want your center, right? We want your whole business, your whole team to be balanced. To be an executive, you need to complete this entire sheet, which is 5 on your left and 5 on your right. 5 and 5. All right. And this sheet right here that they give you literally has a place for names. So when you have that one person who's like, oh my God, I found somebody, and they're excited, like, write them in there. Hey, that's a possible consultant. And guess what? They may never do it. You have to erase them and put somebody else. It's okay. Print this sheet off. Get this sheet in front of you so that you can track it. Okay. Obviously, all this information is also on your back office. You can get with somebody and learn how to do that. If you don't know how, it's very simple. From your home page on the desktop version, on the full site. Okay. I don't even know if there's a way to look at it on the mobile app or mobile site, but on the home page at the very top, in the blue bar at the very top of the screen, there's literally a little button that says team. You go down, it says view my team. It'll show you everyone on your left, everyone on your right. At the top, it'll even give you who's a consultant or above. It'll show you, right? It kind of breaks them up for you. So you can find a lot of useful information there. You can find out who's about to become inactive, right? And you don't want them to fall off and all that. So you can find all that information there and tell them, like, hey, look, you're 2 days away, or, you need 2 more points. I've had that happen. I had somebody have 99 BV. Like, what in the world, right? And they're just not aware. So it does take a little work. But that's what we're here to run our business, right? To let them know that stuff, because how silly would it be for you to miss a bonus because someone got 99 BV instead of 100? Let's be real. That is something that's super fixable. And to be perfectly honest, you can call and make an order under someone in your downline, right? So if you have somebody, I've done it plenty of times. Hey, they're at 98. Hey, I need a sample cup to give out for the presentations anyway. I buy a sample cup under their name, boom, and let them know, because they'll freak out if you don't tell them, hey, I just got an email saying I made an order. I didn't. What happened? Right? So, but another option. So that's pretty much the wave tops on the pay structure, and then on your ranks on how to get to all of the recognition that you hear us saying at the beginning of all the training, right? So when we say that somebody has become a consultant, you see how many names that is, right? Because a lot of people have the 2 friends that you can go, hey, you're doing this with me right now. Like, oh, give them that elbow. Get in here. You're going to do this with me, right? That's easy. But then you notice how many managers and directors did we have, right? That list started getting like this, right? Because I can't strong arm that many people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm big and scary in uniform, but I can't talk people into, doing what I'm doing all the time like that. My mom and dad trusted me. That's fine. That's why you're being consistent, because eventually they're gonna come to you when they're ready. All right. And when that happens, you are going to advance and rank up, and those cycles are going to start growing. And that's when we start getting into, boom, I already marked it. Here we go. I've looked for this so many times, and I know I asked Chris for this so many times. And I know it bugs him because he sends it to me, but then it gets lost in our message thread. So I don't have the patience to scroll back up and look. But you end up getting to different cycle brackets, which will give you all of these golden circles and 2-star silver circles and all these numbers that are really confusing, but makes your intro longer and longer and longer and longer when they want to say your name. Like, I'm good with just the Marine. You know what I mean? Like, let's just stick to that. But goodness, how cool is it to hear, 2-star crystal executive, platinum, I don't even know, like, just make it up, right? There's so much stuff that you can earn in this business, and they have it all listed for you, so you can pick what you want to do. Like, let's be real. Chris Harville, busting him out right now, left a job that was paying him pretty good money, right? Chris, I'm not going to put your business out there, but he was making pretty good money, but he didn't like his job, right? However, he could look at the sheet and be like, oh my gosh, if I can just make it up to a 5-star golden circle, that's 100 cycles a week. Wow, that's $5,000 a week. He has a goal already written for him, right? You can look and see, like, where would A, this becomes something that is worth my time, or B, this could be my financial freedom. And it's all laid out for you. It's all right there, right? And so when we start talking about these stars, don't get too just obsessed with them, right? Because a lot of times, like I said, I didn't even know. I mean, let me be honest, guys. I think I hit 2-star 2 weeks ago. I had no clue. Couldn't tell you. I was just working. Had no idea, all right? The numbers aren't that important to me, but I do like hearing them every now and then. You know what I mean? Makes me feel good. But just know that the company is there, and they're keeping track of you, and they're just handing you this money, and you're building this income, you're building this business to whatever level you want to, right? It just depends on how much work you want to put in, all right? And that is going to be one of the mindset things we talk about later. Let's stick to the topic at hand. Let's see, I've covered inactive, active, BV, cycles, PIBs, double PIBs, upline, downline, left, right, center. Man, we're knocking out these terms left and right. Weak side, strong side, I guess you can obviously tell is just going to be the opposite. I tell you what, let's go over peg leg, because boy, let me tell you something. Peg legs can make or break you. You hear me? If you don't know what a peg leg is, this right here is golden. You want to know how Justin Eccles spent 7 hours straight, just overnight to become an executive? This is how he found out about peg legs. So, might have to turn off my lights again. Maybe I'll just make y'all deal with it. All right, so peg legs. Let's get rid of all this red stuff right here. Knox, quit barking. It's just somebody shooting. Let's say, again, we are wanting to get these people down here to consultants, right? Okay, well, let's take this person off right here. Let's say my buddy Jim right here signed up his wife, and he left. That's it. That's the only person he signed up. He is one enrollment away from becoming a consultant. And guess what? Consultants are what we need. That's what gets us ranked up. So because he only needs that one other person, he is considered a peg leg because he only has one, right? Think of a pirate. Come on, we get it, peg leg, right? So this is where you go strong arm Jim and tell him, hey, you go get your mom, your twin brother, your best friend, your dog, I don't care. We are making this happen, right? We are going to fill this spot so that you can get promoted and help me out with my business. Guys, when you put it like that, people want to help each other, right? Hey, man, look, this would mean a lot to me. Could you, by any chance, help me find one other person? Now, I know we start a lot of people off with some of the bigger packs, right? Some of these packs are very intimidating for people to start with because it's a lot of money. But a qualifying pack is just 100 BV. So even if you need him to sign up his mom or dad or whoever for this peg leg with just a standard shake and cleanse pack, which isn't one of the main starter packs that we get, like, you're not going to make a commission off of it, right? Doesn't matter, right? We're not worried about the commission. We're worried about this peg leg, which is going to give me a consultant, which is the last one I need to become an executive, right? How strong is that? Because when you start looking at peg legs, you know what? Mama BB sent me probably 2 or 3 voice messages back to back one day because, fun fact for y'all, the Marine who's so good at this business, I fell off executive probably a month after I got it, right? People fall off. It happens. I quit putting in the work like I should have. I wasn't on top of my game. I fell off. Not a big deal. I've done it once. I can do it again. And I did, right? But a couple people fell off. And so she called me up and said, okay, this is what you're going to do. She had already dug in my back office, right? She planned this before she called me. She did the work before she called me, schemed on me while I'm at work, right? And said, you need to call Jim Bob, Billy Bob, Bubba, every Mississippi name she could think of, and tell them that they have one person. They're a peg leg right now, right? Even if they do have 2 people under them, but one of them's inactive. They've fallen off as a consultant now, right? Get them active again. Get these peg legs figured out so that you can be executive. Did you know, and I didn't know this, I knew I had a couple fall off, right? And I was like, I went from 10 consultants, which made me an executive, down to 2. You know why? Because this whole virus thing happened, and I work in law enforcement, and that made work crazy for a while. And I 100% put Isogenics on the back burner so that I could focus on other things. Nobody's fault but mine, right? I quit doing the work we were talking about, and it showed. Mama BB listed like 14 peg legs I had. She was like, I don't know what you're waiting on. These peg legs are ready to go. Where are you? Like, let's do this. So guys, it's that easy. I hope this was Mama BB. What's my time hack? What's my time hack on this? Is it 45 minutes? Are we done?
We are, but you're so cracking me
No,
up.
no, that's good. That's good. That's good. No, that's good. So guys, this is just a quick, like, again, we're going to work out the kinks on this. This is literally just a trial run, trying to figure out if this is something that could help not only people who are on here who need to learn the basics, but also remind you, I don't want to say take for granted, but some of the stuff that may just slip your mind that you are so well versed at already, and that you need to try to kind of, as we say, break it down Barney style. That's how the Marine Corps works, right? We need to break this down Barney style so that anybody can do it, right? Marines are notorious for not being the smartest in the world. So we need to make this so easy that everybody can jump on here and do this. And then you are going to remember, oh my gosh, yes, I'm guilty of the same thing, speaking all of these crazy terms and not even knowing that I'm confusing people. All right. So just trying to at least, hey, just get on here on Monday night during the week when we have our Zoom calls, our training calls, our pro calls. We may dive into some of this stuff more in depth, and you're more than welcome to obviously jump on that stuff and get the training from the websites or any of the pages and all that. We want to try to keep this stuff wave tops. I think we're probably going to repeat this in the first week of June, so that we can just go ahead and nail down, hey, the first week, second week, third week, last week of each month. And we're going to try to break this up with where it's, key terms and the basics like we just talked about. Week 2, maybe something about generating leads and how we're trying to fill our funnel and get people interested and, and be that shining light for people. Week 3, we may work on follow-ups and how we're doing that and how we're keeping building that rapport, whatnot, and closing. And then the 4th week will just be straight team building and how we're building those consultants like we're talking about, because that's really what it boils down to. Okay. So that curriculum may change. Like I said, we're working out the kinks, but I'm going to work with the rest of the team. And if y'all have anything at all that you have questions on, think we need to cover and add into the curriculum, by all means, pass it up. Let's figure it out. And I just want to make this something that is super streamlined, super easy, and something that we can, even if it's not me training, like next time, Jeff may train on it and give his spin on it, and it may work completely different, right? Because I'm a fast talker, throw it out there, and, it may not resonate with you as much as when Bam Bam talks. So we're going to switch it up and we're going to figure it out, guys. And I'm really excited about it. And I know Mama BB is too. So that's all I got, guys. I appreciate y'all. Mama BB, I'll let you get on here.
Oh my gosh. That's so brilliant. So good. Thank you so much. I do want to clarify a few things because people are new. And I don't know, Tommy the Marine, are your parents divorced? No. Okay. So I want to make sure and make this very, very clear, you guys. I put it in the feed that if you have a married couple, they cannot be split up right, left. A married couple, that's the only time you can't split that up. Married couple has to go under each other. So you enroll your mom, your dad gets enrolled under your mom. That's her enrollee, not yours. You can't split them up, just so everybody knows, because people are new. Tommy, you got a lot of people on here like, oh, this is great. I needed this. I'm 2 weeks in. This is great. I think even seasoned people are like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. You said weak side, cycle side. I have heard people say love side, that we don't want to call it a weak side because we're putting our love into that love side, because that weak side, if we call it a weak side, it will always remain a weak side. We want to put some love into that side because it's our cycle side. When we put love into that side, we get cycles. What are cycles? $54. So it's our love side. So whatever, you want to make up for it, but he is really doing such a great job pointing out the terms that people use that you might go, I don't even understand. Weak side, left side, right side, cycle side, what a side, I don't care a side. And then some people call it teams. So, left team, right team, and blah, blah, blah. And that was really good. And then you said one other thing. You know what a word person I am? I just really listen in. Tommy said, nobody taught me this. What I do know about Tommy the Marine and Debbie BB is we go rogue. I know better. Those are the 2 words, right? Am I right? I'm not lying. Those are the 2 words that will kill us in network marketing. I know. Nope, I didn't know, but I thought I knew. So I went rogue my first year. I went rogue. I got this. I know nutrition. Nobody needs to tell me. And I did not know network marketing. And all of this right here, why this is so important to be taught right now and why Tommy has such a big heart to teach this is it's all about duplication. It's not what you know. It's not how smart you are. It's not what you know about nutrition. It's not what you know about somebody else's body. It's duplication and duplicating network marketing and what we have in Isogenics. We want to make sure we might all have a different personality, but we want to say the same things. We want to have the same verbiage. We want to make sure we're teaching our teams the same way. It's all about duplication. So the fastest way to grow your business is to lean into your coach, into your enrolling sponsor. Like Tommy said in the beginning, ask them questions. Don't just go rogue and think you know better, because you'll spin your wheels. And I did. The first 6 months, I did this. Nope, I know better. I'm going to reinvent the wheel. And nobody could duplicate any of the garbage that was coming out of my mouth. I was getting enrollments, but nobody, my team could duplicate what I was doing. So it's all about duplication. And that's why Tommy has such a big heart to teach the basics. Like, he came to us and went, this is what's needed. I needed this. I know others need it. And so Tommy, again, appreciate you and your training. The feed blew up, and I really appreciate it. I do want to address somebody real fast. It's kind of off topic, and I'm not sure if you're new or it's way up in the feed. And it was about somebody asked, can I work two businesses, two network marketing businesses? Pretty much the answer is no, because it will put your Isogenics account at risk. You'll be looked at, are you cross recruiting? And that means you cannot take people in your Isogenics business and advertise to them to come over to this. The other thing I learned early on, and this is true, I don't know anybody in network marketing that is working two companies and making a lot of money. That's like, I'm going to go work for Starbucks. I'm going to own a Starbucks, but I'm going to go sell Folgers coffee. Like, you're not going to make a lot of money in either. You're just going to spin your wheels. And I heard it this way: you can't ride two horses. And you can't. I have horses, and I've never been a trick rider like that. So if somebody's really serious about building their Isogenics business, the answer is no. But then people got to find out what people think they want to do. But I know people have got in a lot of trouble by that recruiting and that fine line of having two companies. So I would say no, but that's, you know, for me. So I wanted to answer that. And then anything else? Tommy, did you look through the feed and see if there's any other question that somebody has for you? Just want to make sure that we got that active. BV cycles, double PIB, right side, left side.
71, that's a lot of things to try to look through.
You're famous, dude. You did such a good job. Center, max out, upline, downline, weak side, love side, cycle side, peg leg, qualifying pack. Just remember, you guys, if you're enrolling a business builder, whatever they enroll on is what they're going to duplicate. So we always do ultimate and value packs. Once in a while a premium and once in a while a basic. But if somebody's serious about doing business, they need to experience everything we got going on. So I think that's it. Want to add anything else in? Tommy, Jeff Beebe, Chris Harvell. I'm just seeing who I'm seeing on here.
I'll pop in here real quick. You know, what a phenomenal training, Tommy. And, you know, it's called network marketing. You know, we got to work. You got to work to make, you got to prospect and work, but it's network. You're building networks of individuals doing the same thing that you want to do. So if you want to be real successful at this, this is where the duplication happens. And if you really look at the word network, you're finding and building networks of people doing the same thing that you're doing throughout the world. And that's where financial freedom, residual income comes in. But thank you for this training and this whole deal. And I love the thing about building two network marketing businesses. You can't ride two horses. You lose integrity through your clients and people. That's how I've seen other people that try to do too. You lose integrity. What are you trying to do here or there? So those are those things. And I just, if it doesn't have anything to do with, if it's two nutrition companies, you're really going to lose your integrity. But if it's two separate entities, then yeah, you can do it. But like you said, Eric Worre, top leaders in the industry all say you will never be successful until you dive in and jump in full force and really realize what you're running for and set a goal and run it like this Marine's doing. So thank you guys.
And I got one quick thing. He was talking about the right and the left sides, right? Just, I want you to get your brain and think about this. If you're consistent and you put a few people in and you're working it, think about 5 years, right? And you got people above helping out. You got people below helping out. Now imagine you end up with 10,000 people. I feel like in 5 years, I'll have 50 to 60,000 people, but let's just say 10,000 people below you, right? A lot of them aren't going to order, but let's say in a couple of weeks, they bring out birthday cake shake or some new shake that everybody's excited about. A lot of those 10,000 people are going to place orders. All that volume comes up to you. Imagine how many cycles that's going to be, whether it be next year, 3 years from now, five years from now, you're still going to want to make 20,000 a month, right? So imagine all those numbers. Just go do the math. At times 54, and let's say you cycle 200 times, whatever. But all those numbers are just going to grow, and they're going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to grow. This pay plan is perfect. Just take advantage of that, and don't give up. Be consistent. And it may hurt right now because you're not getting as big as you want to get, but think of the big picture 4 and 5 and 6 years down the road. You know, you can max it out. You can do whatever you want to do, and you can make anything you want to. And man, Thomas, one more thing. Here we go. Fantastic job.
So good. So good. All right. Well, I keep reading through the feed, and you know, I love Mark Greer about a serious athlete playing 2 sports. Sometimes it comes down to you gotta pick one and stay with that one, right? This was just so good. I know what I got to add in: golden circle, silver circle, platinum, upside down this side. I don't know. That was so funny. Silver circle means that you're not executive. That's all it is. So you can be consultant, manager, director is a silver circle. Golden circle is executive. Just FYI for y'all. That's it. Anything else, Tommy, before we close it out? No? Okay.
I'm good.
You're good? Yeah, you are. And again, I have to repeat this, guys. Lean into your upline. Lean into your enrolling sponsor. If they're new, then you and them get with the next upline, whoever's up from that, and have them teach you. Ask them the questions. Don't go rogue. Don't think I got this. I'm smart. I know this stuff. I know will kill you. Those 2 words, I know, will kill you. Dead in the water.
You put it the best, Mama, when you say, like, if Donald Trump or Warren Buffett or, you know, anyone gave you advice on how to be a millionaire just like they wanted to be, or how to become rich, and they told you to do A, B, C, D, you'd probably do A, B, C, D, right? So we've got people on this team who are either doing what you want to do, right, or where you want to be at. If they tell you to do something, let's just give it a try, right? It's working for them. They might be onto something.
Right? All right. I'm going to unmute, and I am just so happy each and every one of you were here for this amazing training from Tommy the Marine. All right. We are unmuted. If you're not unmuted, you got to do it yourself. Tommy, you got to take us out, baby.
All right. Are we ready? Here we go. 1, 2, and 3.
There we go. Oh,
Really awesome training. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pages of notes.
Right. So awesome.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy. Yeah.
Hoorah.
Hey, Carla.